This is the UR Business Network.
Hi, this is Raymond Rondeau, a Market Maven, your host, back in the UR Business Network, and we have part 4 with Stephanie Kammerman. It's going quickly, Stephanie. We ended our last part talking about pattern analysis, and we started talking about how it's best to try to line up as many things as we can.
Right.
How you can take even different elements of investing or trading and try to get them to line up. And the belief is here that the more things you can get to line up, the better the probabilities. Is this something that you believe in and use?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't just jump into a trade in 2 seconds. You want to look at, I look at you watch the futures. Mm-hmm. So if I'm trading gold, and I see a big dark pool buy trade on GDX, let's just say. I look at the gold futures and I'll see, is the gold futures hitting a resistance area? Are they hitting that like we did on 1300, right? We hit the upper channel and so forth. So again, it's important to line up as many things as you can, but the tape for me never lies. It's always the number one indicator. So even if I have all these great patterns that look great, if it's not aligning with the tape, I'm not going to take the trade.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. One thing I do know something about trend relativity errors, and you're not only looking for pattern analysis in one time frame, but we like to line it up in multiple time frames because we see this domino type effect.
Weekly chart,
so
daily chart.
Where in a 5-minute we'll get some type of bullish activity, which will lead to a 15-minute breakout, and then you happen to look and there's a pattern on the 60-minute, and we get this type of run. But the thing that you bring that's so interesting is, again, that dark pools. It's your wild card that you seem to have that really I don't know a lot of professional investors or traders use. So why don't you give viewers an example of something wild that you've seen in the dark pools, something that stands out?
I've seen a lot of wild things. And again, I've been doing this for 24 years. I started when I was 12. I'm kidding.
Edit that.
But no, we can keep that in. But really, the wildest thing, which really leaves me speechless, I couldn't even talk the next day. This is how crazy this dark pool trade was. March 21st, 2016, I spotted some really, really large 6 million, a 5 million, a 10 million print on TVIX. Are you familiar with TVIX?
I am not. Oh, yes.
Many people have heard of the VIX.
VIX, yes, it was a VIX ETF.
Right,
yes.
it's like an ETF.
Was it a leveraged one?
It's a leveraged, right, of the VIX.
Yeah.
It's only bought when a correction is coming. We'll see some larger prints on the VIX. People will put protection on, hedge their portfolio. So when I know a correction is going to happen, we'll see large trades on the VXX, TVIX. There's also UVXY. There's a couple of different of these guys. But I never, ever in my life saw these huge trades on the TVIX. And we were not in the middle of a correction. So I'm thinking, what's going on? And of course, I took pictures. I put it up on social media. I always post up any unusual trades that I see during the day. Does anybody know what's going on? Nobody knew what's going on, and they just kept coming in all day. The next day, we had a terrorist attack.
This is absolutely, yes.
In Brussels, the airport. And it was the biggest terror attack in Belgium. And I'm going to tell you, I woke up the next day and I said, oh my goodness, terrorists trying to profit. They knew about this. Somebody knew about this and trying to profit off the market. And we've heard stories about this. 9/11.
9/11, shorting of the airline stocks.
Right.
I believe
These options.
It was it was at least reported that they went back and broke them trades and tried to backlash to file the trace. But yes, absolutely.
Well, I was having babies at that time during 9/11, so I didn't see those trades. But these trades were the scariest trades ever because I was like,
the worst of market manipulation, we would agree. I mean, that
worst.
Is holy market manipulation right there.
And 2 days later, there was another attack in Pakistan at Lahore Park, where there were a lot of people also that perished in that attack. And maybe there were going to be more that got thwarted. I don't know, because this was really, huge trades. But that was really the craziest stuff that I've seen that I've actually been able to document and put on social media. I know a lot of people look up on social media.
On the activity, which is interesting to me, you've seen the high volume activity on the VIX derivative or the ETF of it. You weren't seeing an increase in the VIX at that time, just increased buying on the ETF itself. Is that correct? The volatility on the S&P?
Correct.
That's very interesting.
Correct. It was just this TVIX. It wasn't any other,
a classic
components.
divergence there, some type of deviation where you're not even seeing the volatility.
Many people don't even know about the TVIX.
On the options.
Right.
Right.
So it was sneaky.
That
very
is
sneaky.
That is very sneaky. That is one that I have not looked at before.
I'm going to show you pictures of that later.
All right.
You'll see.
Okay. So we are going to come back, believe it or not, with just one more segment. We're going to do 5 with Stephanie Kimmerman. And Stephanie's going to talk about her trading room and how you as investors and traders can gain access to learning a lot more about this information and becoming a better trader and investor. We'll see you then.
3, 2, 1. This is the UR Business Network.